Now, this is something I wanted to make a video on for a while now, just because I think it's kind of goofy, but I've seen Apex Legends has had such a influence on a bunch of different FPS games when it comes to movement tech. And what I mean is, in like every other FPS game now, everybody is trying to find the new movement tech. But I feel like the majority of the time, a lot of these FPS games are just not like Apex Legends or Titanfall, and the movement tech in the other FPS games fall short or is actually just completely useless. And now it is definitely moved over to Call of Duty, and it's getting even worse with Warzone 2. I've been seeing a ton of TikToks and YouTube videos and videos on Twitter and stuff of people finding different movement tech and doing different kinds of movement kings, you know, on Twitter, when in reality it's really not doing anything positive for the gameplay. The video that I showed in the beginning, in the MW2 beta, somebody posted gameplay pretty similar to that, and I thought it was a joke, and that guy specifically might have been just messing around, but I think people took it seriously, and now I've seen quite a few clips of that kind of gameplay on TikTok and on people do it on Twitch. This whole kind of rebirth movement king gameplay where it is just so much nonsense and useless movement and button pressing. And I think some people have kind of lost sight of when it actually makes sense to do all this shit. It's been a meme for a while that S&D kids in Call of Duty just constantly YY or weapon switch. Now, even I weapon switch in Call of Duty every once in a while because it just kind of keeps you warmed up and ready. You're not just sitting there doing nothing. But to this degree, it just makes absolutely no sense. And especially in MW2, where you can't weapon switch cancel your reloads, more than anything, this is going to get you killed. It's also very common for these people to just randomly 360 like every 10 seconds when they turn a corner. It's just almost all of the stuff in these clips is just wasted movement. I still remember a clip from a long time ago when PUBG was like the biggest FPS game, and Shroud and Dr. Disrespect used to play the game like every day together. And I remember Dr. Disrespect talking about how Shroud had almost no wasted movement. Now, obviously, PUBG didn't really have all that much movement to begin with, but he wasn't doing any of this unnecessary shit. It was all optimized to be useful, and that's just another one of the reasons why he was so good at the game. Same thing with Ace in Apex Legends. Now, Apex Legends actually does have a ton of useful movement tech. They've taken a lot of it out, but Ace has done such a good job of using that movement tech when it actually matters. The wall bouncing, the zip lines, the super gliding, all of it he uses so well that it actually makes sense. But I think because the movement is just so basic, and there's not really much depth to it, especially in MW2 and Warzone 2. People are trying to force it into the game when there's just not really anything there. The one thing that I have seen that might be useful, you've probably seen clips of it from people like, I think his name is Shotzi's, the professional player, is the dolphin diving gliding. I found this out in the beta, and I posted a clip of it, but I don't think people really cared because I should have showed it in the third person, how you dolphin dive off of a ledge, and it basically makes you bounce off of it and doesn't give you the dolphin dive animation. I talked about how this could be good dolphin diving from the tops of buildings in Warzone, which I have been using a ton of. It actually is useful in that instead of normal jumping, especially after they nerfed bunny hopping in the game. But other than that, I didn't make a big deal of it because it is so situational. Unlike all the shit in Apex, super gliding, wall bouncing, all that stuff, it is so useful on like all parts of the map. There's also been a bunch of clips of the Superman gliding glitch in Warzone 2 that have been coming out. Once again, I found this out in the beta and I got a kill with it, but it's so situational with how the glitch works that you can only do it in very, very specific spots where buildings aren't rendered as buildings, and instantly puts you into the parachute glide. So once again, it's It's more of a haha, look, I got this funny kill, let's post it to TikTok, rather than actually being useful in gameplay. So as I'm recording this commentary, I go to Twitter, and what do I see? Another MW2 movement tech. These people are calling it the G-Walk. Once again, it's another, it makes you harder to hit, but it just seems so useless. Pretty much every single movement tech that I've seen on MW2 and Warzone is more goofy and just kind of a gimmick than being actually useful in the long run. Maybe eventually people will actually find some kind of movement tech that's useful in Warzone 2, but sadly, because of the way the game is and the way the developers want it to go, it'll probably be nerfed very quickly if it actually is useful. Like even this dolphin dive thing, I wouldn't be surprised if they patched this out, even though it's like not useful at all, apart from a couple specific places on the map. Yeah, from what I've noticed so far from playing Warzone 2 and MW2, the best thing really is to try to ADS around corners. Jumping can still be pretty good in gunfights. It does make you harder to hit. But right now, sliding, dolphin diving, anything to try to get the upper hand on somebody when you go around a corner just seems to put you at more of a disadvantage than just pre-aiming it. But I will say I saw a tweet from Myth talking about how it does seem like so many people want an FPS game where crazy movement is kind of like Apex Legends. Crazy movement is rewarded and possible. Now, obviously, you could just go play Apex, but Apex is old and it's starting to get pretty boring. So hopefully something new comes out that has crazy movement like this, because I feel like we've been getting a lot of games that just don't have really any depth or skill to the movement. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to make a quick video on this because I thought it was really interesting. And despite everything I just said, I am totally for people going for these different movement techs or whatever, because some of them actually are useful, like the slide canceling that you were able to do in the MW2 beta, even though it got fixed like right at the full release of the game, I think. So I am totally fine for people to find more broken movement stuff in MW2 and in Warzone 2, even if I can only use it for a couple weeks before the Call of Duty devs absolutely destroy it. Anyways, what do you guys think? Do you think it's even worth trying to find this movement tech, or is it better to probably just adapt to the game and the way it is, and more than likely just pre-aim corners or play slower? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.